welcome to Snap, Crackle and Pop
Culture.
That's the one, not Snappy Chat, much like I wished it was called, but...
Snapchat, that was already taken.
That's Frank, that's Kane, I'm Luke. Hello.
What are we talking about?
Today we're going to be talking about places in Japan that we really want to go to because of anime.
There's a lot. There's a great deal. You know what? The first one, actually, for me, is The World Ends With You, because that was set in Shibuya. And that was like one of my first ever kind of like opening mind moments where I went, oh, I gotta visit this place.
Yeah, you want to see it, yeah.
I want to see, you know, the whole thing, because like the 10-4 tower, it's not called the 10-4. It's called like 10-9.
Yeah.
So,
something close.
Copyright issue, I guess.
Instead of like the HMV, the big store, it was like AVD or something.
AVD?
It's pretty close.
Yeah, everything was super close, but not quite. Hachiko was in there.
I don't know what you mean.
Hachiko.
That was probably one of the first times I've seen something, and like maybe because you're playing it, you kind of get used to the area a little bit.
Yeah.
In the game, you're like, oh, I got to go to Scramble Crossing. That's this way, and then got to go to the 10-4 or whatever like that.
Do you think we would know that well if we went there in real life? I think so.
I don't think
maybe
the game is exactly...
I think so.
I think we would know the landmarks, but not how to get to in between them. But I mean, the amount of time you spend running around those areas, you do pay attention to.
Yeah.
It's not just like random city backdrop 4.
I mean, and also there's plenty of animes that are like set in Tokyo.
That's a game. What's an anime like that you guys have watched and you're like, you know what, that place, like for me, Eccentric Family has made me fall in love with Kyoto.
Yeah, for real.
I really originally wanted to go to Tokyo, but now I really want to go to Kyoto.
Yeah, well I think even like Kenka Bancho, Badass Rumble, I think that was set in Kyoto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyoto is a beautiful place, man.
It's mad.
A lot of the shrines and all that sort of stuff. And the way it's like presented in Eccentric Family is just beautiful. And
Eccentric Family is a good looking anime though.
it really is. Like, and I've found out that a lot of the animation in that, or like a lot of scenery, they took pictures for reference.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Place, and then they just animated over that sort of thing. So yeah, that's one place I really would like to go to.
Steins Gate made me want to go to Akihabara.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Really want to go to...
We're like otaku geeks, whatever. Of course we want to
who
go
are
to
apparently shunned.
Yeah.
In Japan, or were? I think, I'm not too sure. I think it's changed. But otaku, I don't think is I think it's more of a derogatory term than anything else. Doesn't matter. I still want to go to Akihabara.
It started as that, didn't it? I just think there's some people that have just taken it on.
Yeah, possibly.
Is there anything, if it's an insult, if you just can't accept it after a while, you just don't care?
Doesn't become an insult anymore, does it?
So I definitely want to go to Akihabara.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And now that like Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed is coming out, I really want to play that game and I really want to go to Akihabara more.
I don't think there's many women stripping naked in Akihabara.
Or vampires.
To fight. Is that what you're after?
I thought it was like a travel guide game.
It was a travel guide.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is what happens 100% when you go...
What game is a travel guide?
This game.
The one game ever to be a travel guide.
So
I don't know
you
if there are
mean
any travel guide games actually?
No, there are. There definitely are. There's ones you can get on the 3DS that'll like help you go through. I don't know, the Louvre. That's kind of a travel guide.
That's an app.
It doesn't
sounds like one of those like cassettes that you would put into the during the museum tour.
But see, like The World Ends With You was quite close to what Shibuya is like. I've seen reference pictures. Like they get close.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The only thing that we've said so far that's different is like official business names.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess 10-4 is probably like the name of, or 10-9 or whatever it is in real life is just probably like the actual number of the building. But I'm assuming it's become a thing, and like they changed the name. 10-9 actually. They changed the name of like businesses, but that doesn't mean they changed necessarily the layout.
Definitely want to go to Ikebukuro after watching Durarara.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that place.
Yeah, even though I don't think Ikebukuro is anything like Durarara, but I definitely want to see a headless chick, a big Russian black guy who makes sushi. I definitely want to see that kind of
black
stuff.
Russian sushi chefs do you think?
I think it's a play on like a black Russian, as in like the drink.
Is that really where
it's also
character came from? I never thought about that.
If I don't see a blonde bartender ripping stop signs out of the ground.
Yeah.
And throwing them at guys who, I don't know how they dodge, but...
Somehow.
Or don't die when they get hit by a vending machine.
Yeah. Somehow.
Travel Guide.
Magic.
Travel Guide. Watch Durarara. Travel Guide to Ikebukuro. Coming up on your left is a crazed man.
I see a bunch of Irish mythology and a bike that neighs like a horse.
One anime that is kind of like a travel guide, but not for Japan really, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to go to Pakistan.
No, you don't.
I really want to go.
No.
Assalamu alaikum.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure does a terrible job.
It's really stereotypical. And
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, every episode is like Wikipedia the anime. Because it'll start off and like the overview of the page is what the narrator reads.
Yeah.
And then it has like Joseph acted out.
Yeah, basically. Like, oh, what about when they first go to Hong Kong and he's just like, oh, have this cola. He's like, oh, what is this hot cola that is native to China?
He got so mad.
This is not American cola.
That's interesting. I mean, if we're talking about...
But hold on a second. Watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure doesn't want to make you go to all these places. Well, wants you to avoid all these places.
I'm like, don't ever take me
that's
down
what I'm saying
from
is,
the end of dead.
I guess looking out of it, a lot of anime is like, obviously it's set in Japan, but I mean, there's a few anime where they go places.
Yeah.
I reckon any of them inspire the Japanese viewers to want to go anywhere else.
I assume JoJo's Bizarre Adventure doesn't inspire anyone to do anything apart from sit there and wallow in self-pity.
Most of the places they go to, they're presented as being really shit.
It's like, well, yeah. I mean, it's like with everything. If it's not the country that it's based on, it kind of, or there's a big budget behind it, it kind of falls by the way. Like, even in Japan, a lot of anime like to show Australia.
Yeah.
Which is, as far as I can tell, looking at it from just that perspective, this country is entirely a desert.
Yeah.
And a big rock.
And a big rock. And then whatever building is relevant to the plot of that anime.
Yeah.
And that's all we got.
So locations in anime. That's basically what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Different locations around the world. We got a bridge.
We got a pointy or
we got a lot of
house.
things. We're not... There's no locations, right? This is what I'm trying to get at. Talking about locations in anime, if an anime is set in Tokyo, see the Tokyo Tower. Absolutely. 100% see the Tokyo Tower.
Can I jump off it and get caught by a bird?
No, that's air gear, but you can't do that. You can't do that. That's air gear.
I want to do
Okay,
that. That was my one.
Have you seen Tokyo Magnitude 8.8?
I haven't, but I bet it's in there.
It like falls down.
Aww.
How about this? How about when you come to Australia in anime, I'm talking to anime directly here, why don't you go to the Opera House? I mean, in Digimon, Derek went to the Opera House, even though they said he lives in Brisbane.
Yeah, they moved it.
Oh, they moved it?
Yeah, I think his dad, Wombat McWallaby, or
oh, yes, McWallaby.
helped move it.
Yeah, the McWallaby family are
Moved
a big
the
family.
Opera House to Brisbane.
Oh, it was amazing. So Japan can't get it right, but they can get their own things right. That's why we really, I don't know, anime, I do know, anime really made me want to go to Japan, obviously, and not just because of the fact that it's made there, but because it's got some pretty mad sights.
Yeah.
It really does. What is the temple? Where is it? What is the name of the temple they live in the eccentric family?
I think it's Kinkaku, Kinkaku, something like that.
Temple.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen pictures of that in real life. They did a good job.
It looks amazing. Yeah, another one I wanted to mention, and I spoke to you a bit earlier, off video, Makoto Shinkai's films.
Yes.
A lot of them use real settings, and I've seen pictures, comparisons. Because
so Makoto Shinkai, who did
5 centimeters per second, Voices of a Distant Star, Children Chase Lost Voices, all those sort of series, films. Sorry, but yeah, in 5 centimeters per second, a lot of it is just random places around Tokyo.
Okay.
But I would like to it's like the kind of place you was I wish I lived there. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those places I see them in the anime. I'm like, I'd like to live there. That's what I imagine living in Tokyo would be like. The sakura petals falling down or whatever.
Oh, you even call them sakura petals.
Sakura.
Wow. Yeah. I want to and a lot of animes make me want to go back in time.
I was just gonna say, does Edo Japan count?
Yeah, no, I want to go back. I wish I could go back in time.
Just for a weekend trip.
I want my bed to be on the floor. I want to sleep in a futon.
Yep.
I want my carpets to be tatami mats. I want there to be a step from my floor to the actual grounds. I want there to be a bunch of sand and grass where my samurai friends can fight each other of a night. That's what I want. I want to go back to Sengoku Basara period.
And then the next
Sengoku period.
No, you idiot. It's called the Sengoku Basara period.
Okay.
Based on
Basara 3.
Sengoku Basara, the anime.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
I want to go there. I would die instantly.
It would just be a bunch of flames and screaming.
Yeah.
And that was just the guy.
Just me,
that was just one
me
guy.
getting lit on fire.
and dying.
But anime, they do a good job. And so do games, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, this is not really Japanese, but you got infamous Second Son who did a really good job at showcasing Seattle. And I think that level of like, you know, detail in a city is what the Japanese do with their anime and games. They really do. They go above and beyond for that.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's made us all really want to go to Japan. Especially Shibuya. I'm going to bring it back to Shibuya. Especially Shibuya.
That would be
is
cool.
Yeah. I want to wake up in that scramble crossing, dazed and confused. Who am I? Where am I? Who are you? Where are you? Is that a dog?
It is.
That's a statue of a dog. That's Luke. Luke in Shibuya.
I would cry if I seen Hachiko.
The real Hachiko?
The real or the statue?
Why would you cry?
It's such a sad story, man. The true story of dog and man.
We really want to go to Shibuya.
I'm getting sad now just thinking about this beautiful story.
We want to take a trip, don't we, Luke?
Yeah.
And Kane.
Okay.
But not with Kane. We don't want to take it.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Eventually. We're all going to go and we're going to film it. And it's going to be a big deal.
A big deal.
A big deal. No, but seriously, let's go to Japan someday.
Yeah, let's do it.
What day?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, please.